Let's dive straight into the action. The current fair price of Bitcoin stands at a nice 38,718. What's happened over the last week? What's transpired? Well, we've had the ETF news, and a lot of us thought, ETF was going to give so many people access, to buy Bitcoin, and it's going to skyrocket the price, and we're going to have a massive bull run, and this is going to be the instigator of the bull run. But instead, we've had an 18% decrease in terms of the Bitcoin's price. So as we can see, we've had a drop of 18%. So what's happened? What's transpired? And we've had all those people longing Bitcoin. Where are they now? What are they thinking? I'm sure the question most of you are asking is, what's happening? Are we in a downtrend? Is this the end of the supposed bull run? And what's price going to do next? That's exactly what we're going to be looking at today. Usually we'll look at my current trades and see exactly where I am in terms of trade management. But at the moment, the only trade I was in was this trade over here, which was the short from the internal range, which I've actually closed out, and I'm currently in no trades at the moment. And how did I enter that trade? Well, I entered that trade purely based off of the indicator, or the indication that market cipher gave. If you look over here, we've got our price going up, momentum going down, and I entered that short, and that was a very nice short for myself. So let's dive straight into the Bitcoin action to see what's happening and what we can do moving forward. So first things first, you must note that we've rejected off that golden ratio zone in terms of our weekly time frame, and the expectation of order flow is for some more bearish action. We've had that bearish breaking structure, we've had the retracement, and we're looking for a bearish run, and that seems to be what has started, and it's reacted nicely off that zone. And if we look closer, why didn't we get a reaction there, and why didn't we continue further up, especially after the ETF news? Well, we can see that this was a clear power of 3 play. And what do I mean by a power of 3? Well, we had this massive range, this distribution, followed by this manipulation. Now, this manipulation would have, trapped lots and lots of traders. So many people would have been going long here. And what's happened after that manipulation? Well, we've had the expansion downwards. And that expansion is what we're still in. And we can see the expansion, I'm going to make that in green. That expansion was very aggressive, 18%, very aggressive compared to how long it took us to range in that region. Let's see, our range took us about 29 to 31 days to form. Our manipulation leg, that took us around, if we take a closer look, we've got just 4 days to form. And the expansion leg, well, that only took us around 10 days. So compared to how long it took us to form, that expansion was quite the aggressive one. Okay, so we can see that's what's happened so far. And not only has that expansion been aggressive, that expansion has actually broken the lows, the range lows. This is a massive range, and it's broken the range lows, and it's left us in somewhat of a downtrend. Okay, so on the 4 hour, we can see that we're printing lower lows and lower highs all the way down. And of course, above that, we've got all our supplies. We've got 1 hour supply over there, we've got a 45-minute supply. So we've got all these supplies that we've drawn in the past looking for potential reaction, but price has not ticked any of them. Price has not neared any of them. So this is an indication that we are in a downtrend, at least in the short term, and we should be looking to prioritize our shorts. So all these supplies, we're going to ignore them for now. We're going to put them away, and we're going to zoom in to see exactly what's going on. Well, below us, let's see what's happening below us. Well, below us, we've got that 12-hour demand, zone, from that previous range. And below that 12-hour demand zone, we've got our 4-hour demand zone. Now, this 4-hour demand zone is confluent with the value area high from the low range. What we expect is we could get a reaction off this zone. Alternatively, we could break that zone, and get a reaction off the zone below that. So which one is going to play out? Which one are we going to enter on? No, you're not going to know. There's no way of understanding or realizing which one is going to play out until price actually gets there. And why is that? Well, that's because obviously finding your POIs and your areas is just one part of the puzzle. And the second part is actually waiting for your entry signal, understanding your entry models, and knowing what you're looking for as price approaches that region. But just to mention, with these demand zones, you can see that this demand zone is actually quite, it's kind of the last real area, for Bitcoin to get that rise up if it is going to get that retracement, that 4-hour retracement leg. Now, why is that? Well, it's because of our liquidity consideration. If we look at all these stop losses, we've got stop losses over here, stop losses over here, stop losses over here, from when people enter the market with buy orders. All these stop losses can get run very, very easily. So if we fail, if this demand is to fail, I wouldn't be surprised if we get a quick shot all the way down, all right? And that would be all the way down to around this region. Now, you can also see that we've still got lots of inefficiencies over here. We've got fair value gaps over there. We've got some more fair value gaps over there. So there are numerous reasons, for Bitcoin to continue to go down, all right? As I was saying, this 4-hour demand zone, it's also confluent with our value area. It's confluent with our value area high from our old range. So this is a very key place that we could potentially get a reaction from or a bounce from, So what am I looking at? What are my next trades? Well, for my next long trades, I'm looking for a reaction of these zones. I'm looking for price to do this. I'm looking for price to print lower lows and lower highs to go to higher highs and high lows. I'm looking for that over here in this zone. I'm also looking for that down here at the other demand zone, okay? If I see those, that will be my indication for entering along. Now, if I see that with market cipher giving me a nice bullish divergence, that will be double confirmation. So if market cipher is printing, higher highs in terms of the momentum and money flow, and the price is printing lower lows, that will be another indicator or an enforcing tool to enter that trade. Okay, so that's what I'm looking out for, and that's what my plan is in the short term. Remember, make sure your market structure is intact. Make sure you're getting your confirmations, be it divergences, be it RSIs, any indication or indicator you're using. Make sure you're waiting for confirmations before you enter these trades. And there you have it. That wraps up Tuesday's update. See you tomorrow.